What's up, guys? Yo, this is not a gaming channel. I'm just putting something on the screen to keep your eyes busy while I speak. I'm just an average American. I'm a bum, I got a 9 to 5. I work every day. I haven't been interested in politics all my life because it's boring, right? And you don't have time for that. When you come home at night, you're tired. And the last thing you want to do is listen to some politicians. So you just let that go every day. And when the elections come around, the only thing you're really concentrating is on a few key issues like, is this guy pro-abortion, or what is he going to do with healthcare, etc. And you really don't care. Just those superficial issues catch your attention. And I've been like that all my life. You probably can empathize with me even if you are a politico. But this election cycle was so entertaining that for the first time I got interested in it. But in the midst of that, I noticed some strange stuff going on that caught my attention. Let me give you an example. I go to the gym every morning. I work out every day, bro. And they have the televisions up. And every day during the election cycle, they had CNN and CSNBC up, and you would see the banners at the bottom of the screen, and they would invariably every day from the time I went in there to the time I left have something negative about Donald Trump, and very rarely anything critical. And even when it was critical, just like some wrist slap stuff that didn't really matter, and it wouldn't be up there for a long time, about Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton. And at first I didn't think anything about that, but after seeing it for like weeks, going on months, I was like, something is going on here. Why is the media so against Donald Trump? Is this guy, like, is he a monster? I've stopped watching TV a long time ago, so I haven't kept up with what he's been doing on television. Apparently he's done some shows that I don't know about. But from what I hear, he was a darling. For a while, people loved him. He was the Donald. So, what was going on here? So I started to do some YouTube searches and figure out what was going on generally. And it seemed at first like, well, they just thought he was incompetent. He's had several failed businesses, and he wouldn't be, he wouldn't be a proper choice for running a country if he couldn't run a business. I was like, okay, whatever. But then it just started getting odd, like wall-to-wall coverage of an accusation of Melania Trump taking a speech verbatim from what's her name, from Michelle Obama. And that's a soundbite. You spend maybe a couple minutes on that, not an hour. I was like, what the hell is this? I was annoyed because I said maybe it's a slow news day, but then it was 3 days in a row of that stuff. And then that's when I started to figure out that there's something deeper going on. They really don't like this guy. And isn't the news supposed to report the news and not campaign for a particular candidate? So that's when I started to get more interested in it. Then the election rolled around, and you remember those polls where the polls were overwhelmingly showing that Clinton was going to beat Donald Trump's ass. And if you went by the polls, you completely expect, if you were going to go out and vote for Donald Trump, you probably said, what's the point? He has no chance. And then he wins the election. I'm like, oh, well, crap. So he became president. And then that's when stuff really hit the fan. Now, if you remember, before the election, the pro-Hillary, the Democrats and the pro-Hillary voters were saying something along the lines of, well, when Hillary wins the election, you had better gracefully accept the results and not, raise hell, not, get butthurt. But after Donald won, the pro-Hillary people were burning down coffee shops, destroying property, beating people up if they were pro-Donald Trump. It was madness. I was like, what's going on here? And I don't know. It seems kind of odd, but that's not the reason why I'm making this video. From what's happening now, it seems to me that there's something much greater at stake, and that the average American needs to, if not necessarily get involved in politics, but you need to be aware of what's going on, and we need to pull together. It seems to me, from what I've been able to discern, is that Donald Trump actually cares about the country, and he's making an honest effort to make life better for the life of the average American citizen. I think he actually cares about the country, and he's not a Russian agent or a spy or anything else that CNN would have you believe. But despite that, they're pushing this narrative so hard, even though investigation after investigation doesn't show any clear links between Russia and Trump or members of his cabinet. I don't even know if his entire cabinet has been confirmed yet, but they keep pushing this narrative. So what's going on actually? What is at stake here? Is it money? I don't think it's money. It has to be some sort of agenda. Like they want to do something. And I'm not even necessarily saying it's the Democrats, but it's a group within Washington that wants to do something that he's an obstacle in getting done. And whatever it is, I don't think that it's going to benefit us. I think that it might be something like starting another war, potentially even World War III. Do you remember when Hillary was supporting a no-fly zone over Aleppo, where the Russians and the Syrian government were working together, and she was in favor of declaring a no-fly zone over Aleppo, which would have put our Air Force in direct conflict with the Russian Air Force. That don't sound good, and I don't even want to think about what may have come of that. But what the hell is going on here? But anyway, what I'm looking for from anyone who finds this video is some discussion, not political, but what are your thoughts about what's going on internationally, what's going on in our government? What do you think this is all about? And especially to you guys in the silent minority who care about the country, and you're not particularly right-leaning or particularly left-leaning. You just want to see Americans live a sane and happy life. I want your opinions on that. And I don't want this to be about this channel or to be about me, but to get a community of discussion started where everyone is chiming in, and you get your voices heard. Because I think that those who want to see America become what it once was. I remember when I was a kid, where it was all about USA, we're number one, and we were number one. We had the moral high ground, our businesses was booming, life was great for everyone. Even if you worked at Sears, you had an income that you can live on. Not so much now. It's like Walmart and poverty and everywhere, especially in places like Detroit. So what do you guys think? Just hit me up, put a response video up, and those of you who can, you're more entertaining than I am, you're better at video editing than I am, you guys can get this started better than me, but it starts with one voice. And, let's hear what you got to say. Okay, I'm going to play some games before I have to get up tomorrow morning and work for another 8 hours and hit that gym. So talk to you all later.